Hey there, wonderful viewers, and a special shout out to all the super parents joining us today. Welcome back to Tiny Tales Town, the home of delightful tales and giggles galore. Today we've got a treat for you and your little ones. Ever wondered about a breakdancing banana, a goggle-loving goose, or perhaps the incredible friendship between a princess and a dragon? Well, you're in the right place. Grab your comfy blankets, snuggle up, and let's dive into a world of wonder and laughter. Parents, this one's going to be a memorable storytelling session, perfect for bedtime or any time. Let the tales begin. In a sky filled with countless stars, the moon felt lonely. Each night, she'd rise and look down at the earth, watching over the world while it slept. But amongst the vast universe, she had no friend of her own. One night, as the moon was drifting into her usual place in the sky, she noticed a tiny star twinkling brighter than the rest. This little star seemed different. It shimmered with colors she had never seen before. Curious, the moon decided to speak to the star. "Hello there, little star. Why do you shine so brightly tonight?" The star blushed, producing an even more colorful glow. "I've always wanted to be your friend," the star confessed. "I shine my brightest so that maybe, just maybe, you'd notice me." The moon smiled. "I've always wanted a friend too," she replied. From that day forward, the moon and the little star became the best of friends. Each night they'd share stories, laugh, and watch over the world together. And so if you ever look up at the night sky and see one star shining a bit brighter than the others, know that it's the moon's favorite star, reminding everyone that even in a vast universe, a single act of kindness can lead to a lifelong friendship. In the kingdom of Verdant Valley, where the mountains kissed the sky and the rivers sang sweet lullabies, there lived a young princess named Leela. Leela had everything a princess could wish for: beautiful dresses, a magnificent palace, and a crown studded with the brightest gems. But there was one thing Lila longed for that she didn't have: a true friend. Beyond the majestic mountains of Verdant Valley, atop the highest peak, lived Draco, a young dragon. Draco was different from the other dragons. Instead of hoarding treasures or breathing fire, he painted the clouds with colors during sunset and sculpted ice statues with his frosty breath. He was gentle and kind, but the people of Verdant Valley feared him because of the stories they'd heard of fearsome dragons. One day, as Princess Lila was taking a stroll in the woods, she stumbled upon a hurt bird. She gently cradled it, wanting to help, but didn't know how. Just then, a cool breeze blew, and from it emerged Draco, his scales shimmering like 1,000 rainbows. Lila, having heard the tales of fearsome dragons, prepared to run, but Draco simply asked, "Need some help?" Together with Lila's care and Draco's gentle frosty breath, they mended the bird's wing. As the bird flew away, Lila looked at Draco with new eyes. She saw not a fearsome beast, but a kind-hearted creature. "Thank you," Lila whispered, "for helping me, and for showing me that true strength lies in kindness." Draco smiled. "Many fear what they don't understand, but in you, I see a heart willing to see beyond the tales." From that day on, the two became inseparable. They shared stories, went on adventures, and painted the skies together. The kingdom soon realized that not all dragons were to be feared, and Draco was welcomed with open arms. One day, Lila crafted a new crown, intertwined with scales from Draco and gems from her old crown. She named it the Friendship Crown, and wore it as a symbol of their unbreakable bond. And so, in the heart of Verdant Valley, a tale began of a princess and a dragon, not of peril and rescue, but of friendship and understanding, teaching generations that sometimes the most unexpected friendships are the most magical of all. In a fruit bowl in the heart of Mrs. Miggin's kitchen, all the fruits lounged around, basking in the afternoon sunlight. Apples chatted about their shiny skins, oranges boasted about their juicy insides, and grapes, well, they just giggled in a bunch. But among all the fruits, there was one that stood out. Benny, the banana. You see, Benny wasn't like any ordinary banana. Sure, he was yellow and curved, but Benny had a secret talent. Every night when the kitchen lights went out, Benny would jump out of the bowl and break dance. He'd moonwalk across the countertop, pop and lock near the toaster, and do the worm by the sink. Benny had learned all his moves from watching the TV in the living room where late-night dance shows played. One evening, Tommy, Mrs. Miggin's curious grandson, decided he wanted a midnight snack. As he tiptoed into the kitchen, he was met with a surprising sight. Benny in the middle of a particularly tricky head spin. Tommy blinked. "Am I dreaming, or is that a banana doing the boogie?" Benny, caught in the act, froze. But instead of feeling embarrassed, he took a bow. "You caught me! I'm Benny, the breakdancing banana!" Tommy chuckled. "That's the best thing I've ever seen! Can you teach me some moves?" So Benny and Tommy spent the night dancing away, laughing and learning from each other. Benny even taught Tommy the banana boogie, a dance move of his own creation. Word soon spread, and every fruit in the bowl wanted to learn Benny's moves. The kitchen became a dance floor, with fruits of all shapes and sizes grooving to imaginary beats. Mrs. Miggins, wondering what all the ruckus was about, walked in one night to find a dancing spectacle. Overwhelmed and amused, she clapped to the rhythm, turning her kitchen into the funkiest dance party ever. Gerty the goose had a peculiar passion. She loved wearing goggles. Yep, that's right. Goggles. Not just any goggles, but swimming goggles. She believed they gave her a mysterious look. "They make my eyes look gigantic," Gerty would giggle, glancing gleefully in her reflection in the pond. All the other animals in Green Glade Farm thought it was quite quirky. "Why would a goose need goggles?" pondered Polly the pig. "It's not like she's going deep-sea diving." One bright, sunny day, Gerty decided she wanted to show off her latest pair, glittery gold goggles with a grand tint of green. She strutted around, flaunting her fabulous new accessory. "Look, everyone! Aren't they glamorous?" she gloated. Gary, the goat, grinned. "Gerty, you look, very unique." Just then, Gerty had a glorious idea. "I'm going to give goggles to everyone," she declared. "Green Glade Farm will be the first farm with fashion-forward animals." Before anyone could utter a word, Gerty had distributed a pair of goggles to each of the animals. The farm turned into a spectacle. There was Timmy the turtle trying to fit the goggles over his tiny eyes, Lenny the lamb leaping around looking lopsided, and Penny the pony prancing proudly with her goggles upside down. The most amusing sight was Mr. Grumble, the old farm cat. He wore his goggles on his tail, declaring it was the tail end of fashion. The day ended with a grand goggle party by the pond, where everyone danced, played games, and took funny photos in their goggles. Even Farmer Graham joined in, wearing an extra-large pair. And so, in the history of Green Glade Farm, that day went down as the funniest and most fashionable day ever. And it was all thanks to Gerty, the goggle-loving goose, who taught everyone that sometimes being a little goofy is a whole lot of fun. In the colorful town of Tumbleton, where houses looked like they were made of candy and trees hummed lullabies, there lived Cleo the cat and Doodle the dog. Now, Cleo was a feisty little feline who loved her naps, while Doodle was an ever-energetic doggo who could fetch balls faster than lightning. One day, Cleo had a mischievous idea. "What if we switched roles for a day?" she purred, stretching lazily. "You become the cat, and I become the dog?" Doodle, always up for a new game, wagged his tail enthusiastically. "Deal!" And so, the upside-down day began. Cleo put on a collar with a shiny bone-shaped tag reading "dog" and started to chase her own tail, barking in the most cat-like way. "Woof! Meow! Woof!" It was all very confusing. Doodle, on the other hand, attempted to climb up a tree, just like cats do. But alas, he only managed to get one paw off the ground before tumbling into Mrs. Potts' rose bush. "Oops! Mouch!" he yelped. The duo then decided to have a food swap. Cleo tried to munch on a dog biscuit while Doodle lapped up some milk, but both quickly decided they were happier with their own meals. As the sun set, the two friends met at their favorite spot by the pond, laughing at their silly adventures. "You make a very cute, though slightly odd dog," chuckled Doodle. "And you, my dear friend, are the world's clumsiest cat," Cleo replied with a grin. As they watched the stars twinkle above, they realized that, while it's fun to pretend, it's even better being themselves, especially when they have each other. And so, under the candy-colored skies of Tumbleton, the cat and the dog celebrated their goofy, happy day of role reversal, knowing that every day was a day for fun when they were together. In the quiet town of Slowville, everything moved at a turtle's pace, especially for Tilly the Turtle. Tilly was content with her calm life, munching on lettuce and taking, well, very long naps. But there was one thing Tilly secretly wished for: to have a singing voice. You see, every evening, Tilly would watch the birds chirp their delightful songs while she could only manage a soft hiss. One day she decided she'd had enough of her silent life. "I'm going to learn to sing," she declared with newfound determination. First, she approached Carla the canary, known for her high notes. "Can you teach me?" Tilly asked, hopefully. Carla chirped, "Of course. Just repeat after me." She sang a series of high notes, but all Tilly could produce was a squeaky sound, like a balloon losing air. The two friends burst into laughter. Next, she visited Barry the bullfrog, famous for his deep bass. After a few croaks and more fits of laughter, it was clear that deep notes weren't Tilly's forte either. Feeling a tad disheartened, but not ready to give up, Tilly decided to try a different approach. She gathered a bunch of pebbles and started tapping them rhythmically. She hissed and hummed, and soon she was creating her own kind of music. The other animals gathered around, intrigued. Tilly tapped and hissed in a unique pattern, crafting a tune that was undeniably catchy. "Lana." The lark said, "I've never heard anything like this before. It's turtly-tastic." Soon, everyone was dancing to Tilly's turtly tune, a blend of pebble percussion and turtle hisses. By the end of the day, Tilly realized she didn't need to sing like the birds or croak like the frogs. She had found her own special sound, and it was perfect for her. And so, in Slowville, where things usually moved at a leisurely pace, everyone eagerly awaited the evening performances of Tilly, the turtle who couldn't sing but sure knew how to make everyone dance. In the bustling Antville, where anthills touched the sky and tunnels zigzagged like a maze, there was a tiny ant named Andy. Andy wasn't the strongest ant or the fastest, but he was certainly the most curious. One sunny morning, a leaflet, well, an actual leaf, landed in Antville. It was an invitation. "Come join the Great Garden Gathering." Andy's antennae twitched with excitement. A gathering? Outside of Antville? He had to go. Packing a tiny bag with some crumbs and a drop of dew for the journey, Andy set off. The world outside was massive. He crossed the Pebble Mountains, tiptoed through the sticky swamp, a forgotten jam spill, and even hitched a ride on a breezy dandelion. On his journey, Andy met Gina, a grasshopper with a talent for hopping rhythms. Then there was Bella the butterfly, who painted with colors from her wings. They decided to travel together to the gathering. As they approached the gathering spot, they saw a large blanket, a human's picnic spot, and on it, insects from all around, dancing beetles, singing bees, and even a storytelling spider. Andy and his new friends showcased their talents too. A rhythmic hopping performance from Gina, a beautiful wing art by Bella, and Andy, well, he narrated his incredible journey from Antville to the gathering. The insects cheered and clapped, or did whatever insects do to show appreciation. Andy realized that every adventure, big or small, had a story worth sharing. As the day came to an end, the new friends headed back to their homes, promising to meet again for another gathering next year. Back in Antville, Andy's tales of the world outside became legendary, not because he was the strongest or the fastest, but because he was brave enough to explore and had stories that could light up any ant's eyes. And so, in the heart of Antville, Andy became a celebrated explorer and storyteller, proving that sometimes the tiniest adventurers have the biggest tales to tell. We hope these tales brought smiles to your faces and sparked a bit of magic in your day. If you enjoyed traveling through these stories with us, please give us a big thumbs up, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more enchanting tales and delightful adventures. Remember, every like, share, and subscription helps us weave more stories for you and your little ones. Until next time, keep dreaming, keep laughing, and we'll see you in the next story-filled journey on Tiny Tales Town. Bye for now.